What's going on, everyone? So, episode 5 of season 3 was the aftermath of not only Henry coming to Fromville, but also Tabitha getting out and returning. Saw a lot of that focused, kind of put on that, as well as kind of the panic of the town, as well as, kind of the curiosity that leads to Dale's ultimate demise. But one of the things that you see her, as well as Jade, eventually go and do is go back to the bottle tree and kind of just do some exploration, right? Kind of looking around the bottle tree, kind of bringing down some of the bottles. And ultimately, they discover that all of the paper inside all of the bottles at the bottle tree, the one that Tabitha went through, all have 4-digit numbers. And the question is why are there 4-digit numbers? Now, Jade presents the possibility of, like, what if they're all dates, right? Very well could be dates. We have a couple dates, 1864. We've seen that several times. Even Tabitha's hotel room number, right? Like that they kind of focus on. We've seen several times numbers kind of be a focus. What was it? 2252, 222, 2252, right? Like these type of numbers, these type of number patterns and recognitions that continuously present itself, which kind of leads you to believe, okay, there's got to be a connection. There's got to be something to that. You see all these symbols, and Jade kind of relays to Tabitha more about the symbol. I thought it was a symbol, but really it was this hole in the sky, and these were roots, and, the Kukui children are all kind of gathered around, and, he's trying to get to the bottom of what it is. Well, we got a new scene in the little look ahead in which you see Jade, again, obsessing and kind of being a little manic over the different little pieces of paper that have the various notes, as well as some other paper from the other bottles of the bottle tree. The one most likely in particular that Boyd walked by, that was a different tree. We've seen different trees. The main bottle tree that has the significant passage, as well as a few others. Could this be a new one entirely? Could this be the one that Boyd walked by? But you see different types of paper, potentially with all numbers, all with different letters, because Boyd's actually had, like, words on it, right? Like, so maybe there are some connections, maybe there are some tides. Obviously Boyd also found the, was it 1864? And we've also seen that in places scattered out, and we'll touch on that here in a moment. But, even if let's say it's not dates. Now, I do think it is possible that it could still be dates. Right? Now, the thing is like, 2060 is like in the future. 2600 is in the future, right? Was 2657 was in the future, right? Like, but we don't know how Fromville quite operates timeline-wise. Right? Like, we don't know what those bottles came from. Are there different variations, different timelines, different portals, different loop? I mean, you even found that village from a different time, right? And it has a different monster that's completely different. I mean, even Kenny talks about it, right? Like, is it possible that there are different pockets of different time periods throughout? And, the bottle tree is kind of like a clue to connect them all. Like, could it be something of the future? Something that I saw, because, we were talking about this in the live stream that I do. And one of the things that people I saw throughout is like, what if they're hotel room numbers, right? Like, again, Tabitha with her hotel room number. And, there seems to be connections. Another interesting one that I've gotten was, what if it's supposed to be read as, like 2657, right? So like February 6, 1957, rather than, just straight year, right? Because that's how Jade's looking at it. Like, these are years, right? But what if they are actual dates, but it's not years, or it's actual, like, month, day, year? Now, we've, again, seen various years, particularly 1864. 1864 is something that has popped up, again, several times. But you have, on the steps carved in, etched in, lighthouse, you saw 1506, 1864, 1609, 1931, 1752, 1883, 1978, and 1672, amongst, I'm sure, many other dates. These are just the ones we got to see. So we don't know, again, how long, how far away, how long does this stretch, like time-wise. We know, based on this information, this little glimpse that we got here that you see on screen, that this falls back as far as 1500s. Has it been around since the beginning of time? Did it just start in the 1500s? Did it start, in a different timeline, in a different parallel universe? Is this like a pocket dimension? Is this a part of our universe? But it's like, again, there's so many questions, so many different ways that they could kind of branch into this. Clearly, the bottle trees are significant. Clearly, there is stuff in the bottles for a reason. Now, we have seen that not all of the bottles have stuff in them. It is very possible that, it could mean nothing, right? I mean, it's very possible. It could just be kind of decorative as a marker. Like I've talked about, like Miranda. Based on the information we have, it sounds like, from what Henry relayed to us, that Miranda created the first bottle tree in that park before she ever started having the hallucinations. Because he says that that's where they went. That bottle tree was where they went to go and do the psychedelics for her to eventually start having the hallucinations. He says, like, that's basically where this all started. Now, could that be something where, because she was chosen, because she was marked, and we've seen several characters have this, where they have this connection to Fromville even before they ever even get there, even before it's almost like they're marked. Is it possible that Tabitha was marked Miranda was marked, and that, maybe she got the idea for that first bottle tree through Fromville and just decided to make that and create it, and then she started having a hallucination tree? Or is it something where that's just how she... Because if you're lost in this world and you discover this tree that is the most important tree in the entire forest, and the forest literally moves, right? I mean, again, Victor literally measures the trees to see how far they've moved. So if there is this super special tree that you need to kind of keep track of and you need to keep an eye on, and the forest literally moves, wouldn't it be nice to have a marker? Wouldn't it also be nice to have a marker that is audible, right? To which you could hear, such as bottles clanking. And it's not like she had a bunch of speakers and stuff like that. And, when people ask, like, okay, well, why did the bottles have things in it? And blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, it could be as simple as just like, she doesn't have a bunch, like, it's not like she can go to the bottle store and just buy a bunch of bottles, right? Like, she only has what is there. And if maybe there was a trend in the town of people putting the dates that they were there and whatnot, right? Like, so what's more likely, that one person went and hung up all the bottles for whatever purpose, or that just over hundreds of years, people went to this tree with a bottle, with a note, and just pinned it up? I think it would make more sense that, because again, how many people have gone that far into the forest or discovered the bottle tree or whatever? It would make more sense that one person over time would kind of decorate that tree. Well, how do you come up with the idea of the bottle tree? Oh, well, I created one in the real world, right? So now I have that symbolism, I have that connection, I have that tie. She also made one in her backyard for the symbolism in the tie. Maybe there was that other bottle tree first, right? The smaller one that Boyd walked by, and maybe that's where she got the inspiration for this other tree. Maybe Miranda left clues for, Tabitha or the next person to come along and discover it, right? And maybe Jade is the one that will kind of figure this out. Jade is supposed to be the genius, right? Jade is this math wizard that creates algorithms and all kinds of stuff. It would make sense that Jade could potentially figure it out, right? I mean, clearly there's a reason and a purpose for all those notes. Clearly there's a reason and a purpose that there are dates or numbers, right? Because we don't know exactly what it is, but that there are numbers on those notes. right? There's got to be a purpose. There's got to be a reason, be some logical conclusion as to why. Now, the why doesn't have to be logical. I mean, from, right? Like, nothing about this is logical. But I'm talking about there has to be a purpose for why that was there. Whether it's an evil purpose or a good purpose, still very likely a purpose. And just another kind of mystery and puzzle that Jade is going to have to unpack and likely obsess over. Right? And the thing is, it's not like he has a computer where he can run, algorithm tests and number generators and stuff, right? Like, he's going to have to do this all and process this all by hand and by mental. So does that continue to kind of play a toll on Jade? And could this be purposeful from Fromville? Right? Like, that could be like, what if this is kind of Fromville's way to continue to distract Jade and have him kind of lose his mind, right? By kind of keep giving him these puzzles that are unsolvable. And he just continues to obsess and, overthink and overanalyze and break down, right? Like, it's a good way to kind of break him if that's the plan, if that's the goal, right? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? What do you think those pieces of paper are? What do you think and make of those pieces of paper? Do you think it's anything in particular? Think it's nothing. It's just, clear, just distraction. Do you think no, the dates, the numbers, they have to mean something. They have to have something. Again, however you feel or whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.